Young American Films, making you feel old since 1932. Well, I'll tell you what you can do about it. Avoid even doing the speech. A Centron production. Don't mind Thor's hammer in the background. Oh, I'm sure he did this on his day off.
This is the strange story of Fred Strong.
And the prelude to a murder.
Man who usually enjoys life. He's someone you know, perhaps someone like yourself.
But I'm not that ugly.
Without warning, Fred comes face to face with one of life's problems.
A dude walking around with his hand extended.
The high-powered chairman of the local luncheon club asks him to speak at a club meeting. Who, me? Asks Fred. Oh, no, I'm not much of a speech maker.
I can barely speak English.
Sure you can do what he says. We want to hear all about your trip to Alaska.
You know, considering most of us never left the county.
We'll count on you for next Thursday, says the club man. And he's gone.
Good luck, jerk.
Fred, whether he likes it or not, is committed to make
And we'll be committed to the asylum
Fred's
soon.
Trapped. He feels as if he just agreed to make a parachute jump or ride a rocket to the moon.
Ugh, look how
And
clammy
this
he's getting.
is just the beginning. For Fred is on his way to all the terror, all the worry,
And all the irritable bowel
pain of
syndrome he
ailment,
can handle.
commonly known as stage fright. As time passes,
Come on,
Thursday
Pink Floyd didn't
morning,
even sing about time
Fred
like
will be jolted
this.
from his reading by the awful recollection that the day is near.
What, is he going to Normandy?
His deepest slumbers may be interrupted by the harrowing thought.
Oh man, they're gonna pants me when I get there.
And even food is hard to force into a stomach that feels as if it were loaded with hot bricks.
I hate when my wife mixes that in with the breakfast.
Yes, sir. Freddie is scared. Just plain scared.
Can't you tell?
And on the day of the speech, he's really a sight.
This isn't how you start a fire, is it?
The Toastmaster gives a glowing account of Fred's experience as a traveler and of his upstanding qualities as a man.
This man has left the county. He's so brave. We really wish we were more like him.
But look at Fred. He's not even sure he can stand up, let alone walk to the rostrum. He's trembling and weak in
rostrum?
every joint. His feet are cold. His hands are hot and shaky.
Ooh, he sounds sexually
And Fred
excited.
wishes he were someplace else.
Hell sounds good.
Diagnosis? Stage fright.
Jesus, Jones, that's
Yes,
too
and
clammy.
Fred's ailment is common to you,
What, did you turn into Fred?
to you,
Is this Fred?
and to you.
Wow, Fred really did change there.
Yes, you've all had stage fright, and you know how bad it can be. But what can you do about it?
I
First,
told
must
you,
recognize
don't do it.
Stage fright for what it is. Stage fright is fear. And what are you afraid of?
Fear
Are you
itself.
afraid someone in your audience will stand up and take a
Hey, it's
punch
Doom
on
Guy's
you?
granddad.
Are you afraid there'll be a snake
What do you
on
know,
the
Ka?
stage? Or that you will fall off the
Thank you, Buster
platform?
Keaton.
No, you're afraid
Hey,
of what
dude,
people will
check
say
out those
and
loser
think about
socks.
you as you stand before
Yeah,
them.
he probably
You're
likes
afraid of their
Xbox.
ridicule. You're afraid they'll see your faults and your
And all the
shortcomings.
blackheads on your
Because
nose.
the thing you're really afraid of is yourself. You're afraid of faults that are products of your imagination.
In fact, your whole life is a lie.
When you get up to speak, will you say the right thing, the thing you mean?
Riddle
to
me
say?
this, Batman. Do you mean what you say or say what you mean?
Will you mispronounce words? Will you look all right? to
Fuck
your
no,
audience?
you're ugly.
Will you forget? Will you be able to speak at all? Let's see what can be done to help you conquer stage fright.
I'm gonna call in dead.
We'll go back to Fred at the time he was notified that he would speak on Thursday.
Well, I really can't do it without my tag team partner,
The minute
Barney.
Fred found he was elected to speak, he became a little frightened. A perfectly natural reaction.
Almost as natural as
So
those
Fred should have begun
pinstripes.
to say to himself, well, they want me to speak at the luncheon club. Quite an honor. They must think I'm really somebody.
Not really. It's more of a
Fred is
joke.
Building up his self-confidence. Next, Fred carefully plans
What's a
his
four-letter
speech
word
so
for
that when
celestial
Thursday
body
comes,
near
he'll be
Earth?
absolutely certain of what he will say to the luncheon club.
You all deserve to die.
He's laying the stepping
Is he
stones
turning into the
of his
werewolf?
talk
What is with those
by using
hands?
facts, examples, stories, illustrations, reasons, and conclusions that will make up his speech.
As well as depictions of his mother
Putting it
nude.
down in black and white, Fred is sure he has something important to say.
But he doesn't.
He knows where he is going.
Yeah.
When the
Out the
eventual
back
point
door
of his
to
speech
avoid the
is
whole
outlined,
thing.
Fred may try it out, just to be sure.
Hello, imaginary
He
friends.
imagines
Let me
he's in
practice
front of
my
the luncheon
speech with you
club
now.
And is making his opening remarks. Again, he assures himself that he is confident and that the members of the club want him to speak. By practicing his speech, he is taking an important step that will help him control stage fright.
So he won't pee himself.
Now, to be sure of his appearance, Fred has his suit pressed and decides exactly what he will wear the day he speaks.
He's also debating whether or not to
Perhaps
wear his
Fred's not the
fishnet
best
stockings.
speaker in the world, but he certainly won't leave himself open to ridicule because of the way he looks.
But he'll do it anyway.
Appearance is most important in making a good speech, because your audience will judge you partly on your appearance.
Judge not lest ye be
If you
judged,
know you
fool.
look good to your audience, you will feel good, another help in controlling your fear. Even such a small thing as wearing your favorite tie can have an effect on your mental attitude.
Metal
your
attitude?
speech.
Well, I can just tell Fred's a big
So you
fan of
see,
Pantera.
in preparing himself for the speech, Fred has accomplished the one thing that will help him most in controlling stage fright and mastering his fear.
Imagining
He has
everyone
built up
naked.
His self-confidence. He has done this by convincing himself that he's to be the honored guest at the luncheon club.
Oh boy, talk about
By his
delusions of
achievements,
grandeur.
He has earned the right to speak.
And he has earned the
He
right
has
to
planned
fight
his
to
speech,
party.
Practice it so he knows exactly what he will say. And finally, he has made sure of his personal appearance.
Yes.
Now let's see
Clearly,
what happened
Fred
at the
looks like a
luncheon club
young
this time.
Richard Nixon.
Again, the chairman of the club describes Fred's exploits in the Alaskan wilds and welcomes Fred to the group.
The group is still alarmed that this talking
Words of
scarecrow is
praise
still
do not
talking.
fall on deaf ears. Fred is prepared and confident.
Now he looks like a young Bob Newhart.
The fear that Fred experiences now is good because he has control of it.
Like Miss
It's
Jackson.
his way of keeping the body and mind sharp and alert.
He has waxed on and waxed off with Mr. Miyagi.
Yes, Fred is alert. And instead of a growing fear,
He has a growing
Fred is
boner.
eager to get into his speech.
I can't wait to whip it out right in front of
Introduction
them.
Completed. Fred walks to the speaker's position with confidence.
Well, he moves 2
And
feet.
although his legs may be a little shaky, he starts his talk with the same forceful words he planned in his office.
And then breaks out into the
He speaks with
Macarena.
a full, strong voice and stands straight and tall.
Because he's got a broom up his
Fred's
ass.
smart enough to know that his talk will not interest everyone.
Because it's
So he
about
picks out
Alaska.
the sympathetic faces in his audience and talks to them.
Because, really, just ignore everybody and find the
Picks out
one
the
you
friendly
love.
faces
Talk to me more about the moose.
and pays no attention to the unfriendly ones.
I yearn for death.
Fred is determined not to let little mistakes bother him. Now,
Except
he's
when
lost
his
his
zipper's
place.
down.
Is his audience uncomfortable and embarrassed for him?
They should
Not in
be.
the least. He has made them see the humor in the situation.
That he's a complete
on his
jackass and
side.
should have never left the county
As
either.
Fred continues speaking, he thinks of what he says, not how he says it. And so, in making a good speech, Fred has raised himself in the estimation of his friends and
Of course, he's
neighbors.
still the village
More
idiot.
than that, he has raised himself in his own
I dare
estimation.
say he raised the
He
roof.
feels more qualities of leadership and accomplishment than he has ever felt
His
before.
boner is more rock hard than you can imagine.
Ability to overcome the fear that would hinder his speech. Yes, Fred's talk is a success, and Fred's success can be yours.
That was really cool. Tell us about what Alaska was like again. Did you meet Sarah Palin? Why are you so moist?
Work for you. Just remember how Fred prepared himself by convincing himself that people wanted him to
No, they
by
didn't.
preparing his speech and practicing it, by creating
That's
confidence
right.
in
I'm
himself.
Moisty, the spokesman for
Fred
Sweat.
did it. You can do it.
Because you're good enough, smart enough, and doggone it, people like you. Now go out there and bore them to death. You sorry dopes. You gonna end this thing anytime soon? Oh, thank God.